friends, hope you're whelmed. Today we're checking out My Tiny Landscape, the colorful, minimalist landscape builder of your dreams. We're also doing things a little bit differently today. As I tell you about My Tiny Landscape, I'll also be playing it to show off what you can do. Let's see if we can fill in an entire world by the time this review wraps up. As it turns out, you do need to use your noodle to win. Although the only person you're competing against is yourself, while you cleanse the environment and breathe life back into game-generated wastelands one tile at a time. The aim of the game is to fill in these barren archipelagos with signs of natural life. Before we go any further though, I do want to let you guys know that Radiant Sloth, the dev for My Tiny Landscape, was kind enough to reach out to me with a key so I could really get a feel for the game before release. So thank you so much to Radiant Sloth for the opportunity to try out My Tiny Landscape. I'm having a blast with it, and as always, regardless of the fact that I was given a key, my opinions are my own. I'm also going to show off the accessibility settings because I feel like they're actually pretty useful and do make a difference. First off, we have Peaceful Mode, which lowers the base scoring that you need in order to win. You still have to cover the whole landscape, it's just that the point threshold is lower. Honestly, I play with this on all the time. The best scoring option down here also highlights the tiles you'll want to use to get the best score, although that seems pretty self-explanatory. For the purpose of this video, we're going to use both, and let's jump right in. You can mix and match your world and island sizes, from tiny all the way up to large. Let's go with this one. Next, we'll choose our world's main climate. My favorite to start with is always temperate because I love the lush green forest look, so let's start there. You'll begin by picking a pack of elements you want to add to your landscape, and ultimately, we'll be trying to fill in this entire world. Each natural feature we put down, from the tallest tree to the smallest rock, will have an effect on our score, so we'll have to pay attention to figure out which features bring out the best in each other when placed close together, and which placements might actually cost us points. We can also only undo one move at a time, unless we use the manures. They're kind of like bonuses that offer different things once we reach a certain score. But the most important thing to keep in mind is that you have to earn enough points to unlock your next pack. If you don't, you will have to admit defeat. The challenge in all this is we'll be working with different climate features, so even though we picked temperate, we could end up with polar or tropical options when drawing our next pack, and we have to bring everything together for the best score possible. I have lost before, but there's absolutely no pressure or frustration involved. If you can't make any more moves, you just start again. On the top of the screen on the left, you'll see the points you've earned. On the top right, it shows how many tiles we still have to cleanse before we win. You can hide the UI if this is distracting though, and there's also the option to rotate your landscape to look at it from different angles. This is especially helpful when you're wrapping things up and you only have one or two tiles left. Sometimes they blend in, so the rotation makes it easier to find them. I think where My Tiny Landscape shines, besides being a haven for cozy players who love casual strategy games, emphasis on casual, so don't worry if you hear the words strategy game and your mind starts making dial-up internet noises. This is totally manageable and fun for any skill level. But back to what I was saying, it's wholly immersive, and I can literally feel myself relaxing and de-stressing while I play. Once you get the hang of it, you can absolutely listen with a podcast or audiobook on in the background too, so it's perfect if, like me, you're right at the tail end of a good book and you want to find out how it ends as you play. I spent hours with the demo, and a considerable amount more with the full release. Right now, it's definitely a go-to game because its endless gameplay loop scratches a very specific itch in my brain that seems to crave consistency and routine. The 3D pixel art is gorgeous, especially the packs that feature water like swamps or rivers. My favorite pack is probably Ancient Forest, just because I really love the oversized ancient pine trees, they look fantastic, and have single-handedly pulled some of my worlds away from abandonment status. Our world is actually coming along nicely. The amount of TLC that went into this game is pretty obvious, especially in the little details. I really appreciate the dynamic lighting that makes all the environmental elements pop regardless of climate, and I think my favorite thing is the save feature. If you start a world but real life interrupts, you can save and quit at any time. I really wish more cozy games would implement this as a basic quality of life thing, so I'm glad to see it here. If I could ask for one improvement, it would be an extra accessibility feature. It might just be me, but I spend a lot of time spinning my landscape around and using panorama mode to try and find the culprit and finish my landscape. Speaking of, it took me just over an hour to finish this landscape. I really like how vibrant it is, and we did manage to get some polar packs in there, even if they're not my favorite. This game definitely is one of my favorites of 2026 though, and I feel confident in saying that even though it's only January. Give the demo a try and see for yourself, although My Tiny Landscape is available now if you want to download it on Steam and spend your free time weirdly entranced by everything this game has to offer. If you've made it this far, thanks so much. Will you be trying My Tiny Landscape? Can you think of other similar games that might fall in the cozy category? I think this would pair perfectly with Urban Jungle, but let me know down in the comments what you think. I hope you're enjoying your day, and I'll see you next time.